reflecting back on this past week, just always nice to improve off of a bye week. Really thought just the urgency to get better with our defensive guys was there, and just the energy that they brought in practice, the way that they communicated. Certainly, there's things that we continue to have to work and clean up, and that's what bye weeks are really for, to kind of take a look back and say, okay, here's what we're doing really well. Here's what we need to improve on. What do we need to clean up? What do we need to get rid of? What do we need to add moving forward as we get next to kind of this next transition of 4 games and moving forward into Big Ten play. And so I was just really productive for a young defense that just continues to see things and get better in the things that they're doing, and the urgency that they're playing with. I think we put ourselves in good position moving forward here. Looking on to Rutgers, certainly it's a team that has moved and done some things that they just haven't found ways to win. And at times when you look at them, I just think that their running back is a very good football player. I just think he's the way that he moves, the way that he attacks the line of scrimmage and playing downhill. Certainly, I think the offensive line has really done a good job in the run game. You even watch Michigan and Iowa. I think they do a good job of staying on their blocks, getting movement, double teams. They've got a nice, solid run game. Certainly where they have struggled in certain situations in some of their passing game, they've done some things to try to fix that, and what they're doing schematically moving forward. There are some adjustments that you see with a change in offensive play calling. I think that they've done things, they're aware of what they're good at and aware of what they've got to improve on, and they're trying to make strides to fix those things. And it's our job to go ahead and execute and play at a high level. And I think if we do that, we'll be pleased with the outcome. Questions?
Yeah, that's it.
Rutgers actually does have a change at quarterback and a running back because they're deciding to set out redshirt the season. Does it make it more difficult to scout or to game plan for them with different players?
Well, I think you just have to be aware of it, of what they like and what they want to do moving forward. There's pieces of things that they have done in the past that they still can do and will do probably moving forward. I think, obviously the running back with, I'm going to jack his name out, I think it's Pacheco. And he does a really nice job. He's kind of been the main back in the backfield. And then I think they did a good job in the past of just finding creative ways to get Blackshear in space. But they really used him more as much as a receiver and a running back out of the backfield where they throw wheel routes to him and things like that. They've got a young receiver, Aaron Young, number 4, who does very similar things to what Blackshear did for them, and I think that's probably the person that they will kind of utilize in that role moving forward. I think this quarterback gives them a little bit different run presence because I think he wants to run it. He's a big, thick, physical kid, that does a nice job, and certainly I think there's times where he's looking to run the ball, and we got to make sure that we stay focused on those things. But certainly the change in quarterback and running back, as any offense, I think that would change what you do moving forward.
Yeah.
Kind of following up on that, some of what you talked about, I know they can't make wholesale changes just over a couple of weeks, but how important, given the fact that there is so many different calling plays, that I imagine there's, or at least some differences between kind of what they were doing before the coaching changes and after, how important was it for you to have at least 1 week's worth of film to maybe watch and compare to what they've been doing before?
I think that's always the thing that's nice, is you want to have something to go by before you walk into a situation where, hey, they're changing what they're doing at any level, whether it's wholesale or otherwise. Typically, it's never a wholesale deal in the middle of the season. I think for us, there's some things just some key fundamentals that they're doing to get the quarterback in one-on-one matchups. I think they're getting their quarterback way more active in their run game. I believe just in one game now, I think he had 22 attempts. Now, some of those were some scrambles and those things, but certainly they are building their offense and with a quarterback run game in mind.
Kevin.
Yeah, Coach, talked about situational defense, third down defense. How did you guys address it during the bye week, and how do you maybe improve on it going forward?
Well, you look at the things that you're doing well, and you look at the things that you're not in terms of execution. Some of these things that we're doing in 2-minute situations are execution things that our guys, they've got to be able to see it, they got to be able to react and adjust on the field. Now, the nice thing about a young group is if they're locked into what they're doing, and we're doing our job as coaches, they make a mistake out there on the field and they fix it moving forward in the season. That's how a young defense gets better as the season goes on. And I think, certainly we've taken some lumps from some of the inexperience that we have. And yet at the same time, they're doing so many good things that I think you just kind of show them, guys, if we'll just piece this part together, right? I mean, we're talking, I think, in the game against Michigan State the other day, they were 5 of 13. You win one more of those third down situations, right? And now you're kind of in the elite of third down defense in the Big Ten. Same deal with 2-minute, the execution errors that we had that we've got to be able to make sure, okay, they happen, right? Obviously it cost us in that situation and in that game. Can we correct those errors moving forward? And if we do that, we're going to be pleased with the outcome.
Nick?
On Taiwan, obviously you guys liked it when you got him. Taiwan Mullen, are you surprised at how good he's been this early? And did you expect him? I mean, obviously took him to be this good, but I mean, what makes him such a player that's ready to play so soon at a tough position?
Athletically, I mean, Taiwan Mullen he is a very gifted athlete. He's certainly not the biggest guy that he walks out there. I think we always knew that there was the opportunity for him to come in and play at a really high level early. I think what it always comes down to is you just don't know how a young player is going to respond on a big stage. And fortunately for us and for him, he's just a player that the big stage just comes natural to him. He's not fazed by it. He just elevates his game to the level of competition. I thought 25 last week was a great receiver. Darnell Stewart just does some great things, finds ways to get open, competitive. And I think there were 6 targets on him when Taiwan was on. I don't think he caught a ball, so things like that are just, at the end of the day, you either step up and you make plays and you don't. I think Mullen is making plays right now.
As you've seen this younger defense and several of the players such as Taiwan start to develop throughout the year, have you seen some of the upperclassmen like Raekwon and Marcelino really stepping in, or has it been a big team effort to help everyone push through?
Well, you look at, and there are obviously different phases. Raekwon, as you look through the first 5 games, has been a really consistent player. He's done a good job. He's consistent. He's also been very productive in doing his job, right? The key is, can we bring enough of these younger players along with guys like him that can do their job with the level of consistency that it's going to take to win those close games? And I think the key to that is, okay, find out what you're doing well, what you're not doing well, and then you don't try to make too many changes. You make adjustments as you go, and yet you just let these guys learn from the mistakes they make. That's how good defenses become great defenses, You think about some of the defenses, even a team like Michigan State or Iowa, a lot of them have been running the same system for over a decade now, right? They just get better at what they do year in and year out, right? And you kind of know what they're going to be in and what they're going to do. You just find a way to keep getting better, and that's what's exciting about all this young talent defensively.
All right. Thanks,
All right,
Dan.
thank you guys.